Prices in the U.S. are rising faster than they have in more than a decade. That's raising worries about inflation. With the U.S. Central Bank meeting this week, officials are facing questions about whether it's time to do more to rein in prices. Ira Spitzer reports.
Prices in the U.S. have been rising fast. Food prices, gas prices, housing prices, to name just a few.
You go to the supermarket. I went to look at a ribeye steak to barbecue the other day. Normally about, $13, $32.50.
This was our kitchen.
The high prices have prompted this restaurant to shut their doors for a few months and focus on their wholesale business, rather than raise prices dramatically on dishes like the signature beef brisket. The plan is to wait for prices to fall and then reopen.
Our thinking was that we are better off trying to wait this out and keep our prices at a more reasonable level so we don't turn off the public, so we don't become the super expensive sandwich place when we do come out of this, because it seems like this is a temporary thing.
The question vexing economists at the moment, though, is just how long this will last. Consumer prices in May were up 5% from a year earlier, the biggest rise since 2008. Officials at the Federal Reserve, America's central bank, have so far indicated that they view the price increases as part of the country's economic recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. What many are banking on, including this business, is that when the supply chain goes back to normal, so will prices. Since the pandemic began, the federal government has pumped about $4 trillion of stimulus into the economy. The most recent inflation numbers, though, are increasing calls for the Fed to do something, such as raising interest rates, currently near zero. That would impact the economy in other ways, though.
As more money is injected into the economy, as interest rates are kept low, people can borrow easily, borrow more cheaply, and so they can spend. And when they spend, there's more demand for goods and services, more jobs are created, and that keeps unemployment low.
Some economists say inflation can also be fueled simply by the belief that prices will rise.
The biggest factors that influences inflation is inflationary expectations. So what do people, businesses and households expect inflation to be? And that really guides how they behave, or businesses how they, if we consider businesses, how they set prices today.
The Federal Reserve is meeting this week. While immediate action would be a shock, the Fed may give signs that higher interest rates might be on the horizon sooner than expected, especially if prices keep going up. Ira Spitzer, CNA, San Francisco.